The Monty Hall problem is a very famous counterintuitive statistical puzzle named after Monty Hall, the original host of the TV show Let's Make a Deal. The Monty Hall problem has confused people for decades. The answer is so puzzling that people often refuse to accept it. In this problem, we will see how a common sense intuition can often lead to misleading interpretation, and why we should always rely on mathematics to derive conclusion. Suppose you are a participant in the game show Let's Make a Deal. In this game, there are three doors. Behind one door, there is a car, and behind the other two doors, there are goats. And your target is to identify the door that has a car behind it. Now, Monty Hall asks you to guess the door that has car behind it. Without losing any generality of the situation, let's say you pick door 1. Now we can clearly understand that whatever is behind door 1, between door 2 and 3, at least one of the door has goat in it. Now Monty Hall has inside knowledge of what's behind each door, and between door 2 and 3, he will reveal that door that has goat in it. And suppose if both 2 and 3 has goat in it, then Monty Hall will randomly just choose one of the door and he will reveal that. Now suppose Monty Hall has revealed door 3 has goat inside it. So we are not losing any generality of the scenario here because the problem is symmetrical. So now after revealing the door 3 as goat, Monty Hall has asked you whether you want to stick with your original pick of that is door 1, or do you want to switch to door 2. Now since the third door has been revealed as goat, we now have two doors, one definitely having a car and another definitely having a goat. So some of you might say that between door 1 and 2, one has goat and one has car, so there is a 50-50 chance between door 1 and 2 having the car. So there is no point in switching since the probability is the same. Well, intuitively that is what it feels like the case, but let us not be in a hurry in making the decision. Let's approach the problem with pen and paper. Let's work out the math and see what it reveals first. Now let's work out the maths. Let's say a random variable x represents the door where the car is. Now the random variable x then will have like three values. So if x equal to 1 means that the car is behind door number 1, x equal to 2 means the car is behind door number 2, and x equal to 3 means car is behind door number 3. Now let's define another random variable y, which represents which door Monty Hall opens. Now in our setup, we have assumed y equal to 3. That is like you have chosen door number 1 and Monty Hall has the choice between opening door 2 and 3, and he has chosen to open door 3. So in setting up this situation, we are not losing any generality here because it doesn't matter which door we use since the problem is symmetric. So we can now define these conditional probabilities. The probability of y equal to 3 given x equal to 1 is 0.5. That is, between door 2 and 3, the probability of Monty Hall choosing door 2 when the car is behind door 1 is 0.5. That is, if door 1 has the car, both door 2 and 3 both has goat. So as per the rule, Monty Hall can randomly choose either of the door 2 or 3 to open, each having 0.5 probability of being chosen. Now probability of y equal to 3 given x equal to 3 is 0, because the probability of Monty Hall choosing door 3 when the car is in door 3 is 0, because obviously he will only reveal that door that has goat in it and he will not reveal the car obviously. Also, the probability of y equal to 3 given x equal to 2 is 1. That is, the probability of Monty Hall choosing door 3 when that door 2 has the car is 1, because if between door 2 and 3, if door 2 already has the car, then Monty Hall has no choice but to choose door 3 to reveal it. Now that we have calculated the conditional probabilities of probability of y equal to 3 given x equal to 1, probability of y equal to 3 given x equal to 3, or probability of y equal to 3 given x equal to 2. So since we have already calculated these probabilities, now let's see what probabilities we actually need. So the choice we have is either we stay with door number 1 or we make the switch to door number 2. So if we make the switch to door number 2, then the probability that we need is probability of x equal to 2 given y equal to 3. That is the probability of the car at door 2 given that door 3 has got. If you stay at door 1 at the original choice, then we are looking at the probability of x equal to 1 given y equal to 3. That is the probability of the car at door 1 after Monty Hall has revealed the door 3 as code. So you can clearly see that this is just Bayes rule. We have already calculated probability of y given x. Now we have to calculate probability of x given y. So now let's apply Bayes rule and write down the expression of probability. So if you decide to switch, then the probability of x equal to 2 given y equal to 3 is the probability of interest for us, where the probability of car in door 2 after the door 3 is revealed as 4. So we can clearly solve it using Bayes rule. So p of x equal to 2 given y equal to 3 can be expanded using Bayes rule as probability of y equal to 3 given x equal to 2 into probability of x equal to 2 divided by probability of y equal to 3. That we can see in the equation 1. So in the equation 2 we can expand the denominator in equation 1, that is the probability of y equal to 3, and we can see that here we have a term probability of x equal to 3 in the second equation. We might wonder how we might know probability of x equal to 3. So well, this is just a prior probability that a car is behind any one of the doors without any information. So we can assume that this is 1/3, since there is no reason to believe that the producers of the show would have bias towards any particular door having the car. After plugging in all the values, we get the probability of x equal to 3 given y equal to 2 is 2/3, which means that if you switch to door 2, there is a 2/3 probability of getting the car. Similarly, if you stay with the original choice of picking the door 1, then the probability of x equal to 1 given y equal to 3, that the probability of car in door 1 after the door 3 is revealed scored can be similarly calculated, and after plugging in the values like in the previous equation we saw, we get the probability as 1/3. So if you don't switch to door 2 and remain at door 1, there is a 1/3 probability of getting the car. So we can see quite surprisingly that the math suggests that if you switch to door 2, then the probability is 2/3, and if you remain at door 1, the original choice, the probability is 1/3. So you double the chance of winning if you switch to door 2. Let's try to intuitively understand the problem. So after Monty Hall reveals the door 3 as vote, so we were remained with choices of door 1 and door 2. So we found from the maths that if we switch our option from door 1 to 2, then we double our odds of having the car there. If we remain at our original choice of door 1, the probability is 1/3, and if we switch, the probability becomes 2/3. So amazingly, the probability actually doubles of having the car at door 2. This can seem like counterintuitive, because as of now we only have 2 doors and we know that one has car and one has goat. So if we choose either of that, and we don't know which door has what, so if we choose either of them, the probability should be just 50%. That's the basic intuition we had, and now the maths is saying the opposite. So let us try to understand why it's happening. The simple fact is the odds are better if you switch, because Monty Hall curates the remaining choices. The door 2 that we have comes out of the curated choice of Monty Hall, because he has inside information of what's behind each door. So let's say you played the game where Monty Hall doesn't know the location of the car and he randomly opens the door 3 and it's a goat. So in that scenario, it wouldn't have make any difference if you switch from door 1 to 2 or not. But since Monty Hall actually knows the goat is at door 3 and what they are in the other two doors, and he opens door 3 to reveal it, that makes the door 2 as a curated choice, and that's what tilts the favor in switching to the door 2. So if we assume in the game show all three doors are unbiased, so the probability of the car being in either of the door is 1/3. So when you choose door number 1, the probability of the car being in the door 1 is 1/3, and the probability of the car not being in door 1 is 2/3. That is, probability of the car being in either 2 or 3 is 2/3. This Monty Hall problem has a very specific clause. The clause is that Monty Hall knows which door has what. So when Monty Hall reveals the door number 3 as goat, so Monty Hall is actually curating the choice. So out of the block of between door 2 and 3, when Monty Hall reveals one door, the block's total probability remains at 2/3. But we know that the door 3, what the actual result is. So that result is actually certain. So obviously Monty Hall revealed the door that has goat in it. So obviously that door's probability comes to as 0. But since the total probability of the block is 2/3, then we can see that door 2's probability becomes 2/3 itself. So that is how intuitively we can understand that probability of door 2 after the revelation of door 3 is 2/3, and the probability of door 1 is 1/3. So switching to door 2 will actually double the chances of getting the car. The previous analogy will become very clear once we have a different scenario. Suppose instead of 3 doors, we have 100 doors, and in those 100 doors, there are 99 goats and 1 car. Now, if you are asked to choose one door that has car in it, and you have chosen randomly that highlighted door in the screen. So the probability of that being a car is 0.01. So the probability of the rest of the block of having the car is 0.99. So your choice has a probability of 0.01 and rest of the block has a probability of 0.99 of having the car. Now suppose, just like in the previous problem, now Monty Hall will except one door, Monty Hall will reveal 98 doors that has goat in it, and it will keep one door open and ask you to switch. What will you do? So the highlighted blue door is one you have chosen, and the one that remains is what remained out of 99 doors. So Monty Hall has revealed 98 doors as goat, and this one door is there. So will you now switch to this new door? It is pretty obvious, like almost all of us will take the decision to switch, because out of 99 doors, 98 doors Monty Hall has curated and opened as goats. So in this scenario, the answer becomes very easy because the number is very large. It's 100. So, but instead of when the scenario is 3, we get confused and we think that the two doors have equal probability in the previous case. But now, if we switch, the probability becomes 0.99, and if we remain in the original position, the actual door, the probability would be 0.01. So we can see how the answer becomes very clear of whether to switch or not to switch.